today it's time for something completely different. Snakeybus on the Nintendo Switch. Advertising itself as an arcade-like score-chasing driving game, can it do enough to get you on board? Well, hit subscribe, join our quickly growing family here at SwitchCorner, leave the video a like if we do help you out, let me know what you think of this one in the comments, and with that, let's get started. So we clearly know story, we're jumping straight in today with gameplay on this one. It's the love child of Snake from like early days Nokia and Crazy Taxi. And it's funny actually, we were talking about that game just a few days back on the channel, and if you saw that video, you'll know how much I love me some Crazy Taxi. Now here's the core concept with this one. Pick up passengers from bus stops and drop them off at a designated location. Sounds simple, but it's not. When you drop off the passengers, the bus itself, it grows. The more passengers you deliver, the more additional cars you'll see, in turn increasing the maximum passengers you can carry. This though, it's a good thing. More passengers means more points, meaning of course a higher score, and we all love to get a high score. What starts off relatively simple though, it becomes complicated as you're set on a collision course with yourself, and that bus, it's well over 100 cars long. It gets kinda crazy in here. Fortunately, with the manic nature of the game though, we do get a set of simple but extremely responsive controls. Steer is obviously here, naturally, drift for those tighter corners, brakes if you want to take things at a bit of a slower pace, and then the super important boost ability that gives you the opportunity to jump over yourself and obstacles in this weird world. How do you lose a game? Stop moving or fall into one of the many pitfalls. Now while this could have very easily been feature light, they've made a good attempt here, and keyword here attempt, at packing it with a few things to keep you coming back. When it comes to modes, we get 4 different options. Traditional mode, it's a high score run, collect the most passengers, hit the most drop-off spots, and just keep on going. Once it wraps up, see that score and choose whether you want to submit it to the online leaderboard, a page that will show how severely your skills are lacking. Next up, time attack mode, and here they're praying to the Crazy Taxi gods, hoping they can reproduce some of that excitement as it pits you against a countdown timer. How do you extend it and keep the party going? Pick up at least one group of passengers and hit that next drop-off location. The last 2 modes then sadly are saying now they're lacking, and just left me asking pretty much why. First off, we get Endless, and it's just that, it works on one map only, and the name says it all, the bus just keeps on growing. But here there's no passengers, no drop-off points, and no way to die, it's just a map to explore. Whether this was designed with the idea of being a playground or simply a way to relax, it fails to deliver on either front, leading to pretty much boredom within seconds of pressing start. Last up, aerial mode, and going in thinking this was going to be like, you know, a top-down view like Snake, old school GTA. It sounds awesome to me, because that actually makes sense. Instead, what we get is a single map where passengers are on floating platforms in the sky, and you must fly with unlimited boost to pick them up. It sucks. I'm sorry, I can't be nice about it. The controls, they barely work. The cars constantly clip in front of the camera. And from the leaderboard of this one, with advanced copies going out now, I'm gonna say it's a pretty common theme that no one likes this one because no one seems to be touching it. Next up maps, we get 11 here, from the realistic like Paris, to the unusual like a dorm room where you're toy-sized, to the outer space worlds that if you've seen Interstellar, surely that was an influence on this like weird floating farm. The maps, so I gotta say, they're great, each bringing their own challenges, whether that's from the obstacles to the basic layout. Someone should find more than a few here that they enjoy competing on. Last up then, on the extra side of things, the bus types themselves. As you progress, you're going to get everything from a standard bus to a party bus to what appears to be like a dragon. They add nothing to the gameplay, but they're a fun addition to things and give you a little on the front of visual variety. With both the maps and skins, it's worth noting a good chunk of this is locked away. It's restricted behind a points wall, so to unlock everything, you'll need to rack up 18,000 points total. And I know it sounds like a lot, but this actually leads to my first problem. I achieved this in the first 45 minutes of gameplay, and you need to factor in the first 15 of that 45. I sucked, I was just trying maps, getting used to them. I'd never seen them before. I didn't even really know how the controls even work, so high scores, they didn't really exist until that last 30 minutes. Now I'm sure most people that'll do exactly what I did, stick to the same map, grind it out 6 or 7 times, and congratulations, you have everything the game has to offer available to you. In my opinion, they should have had varying goals here that they attach to each unlock separately. You know, don't give me everything, but give me a little taste, like get this map for achieving this amount of buses in a row, or get this skin by beating this high score on this particular map. Force me to experiment and move me out of my comfort zone. There's no risk to reward system here, and that's an issue, and now, what is there left for me to care about and make me want to return? Online leaderboards, yeah, they're fun and I might jump back in every so often, but I'm not dying to get back to this. Why not attach rankings or medals or something to make me have, you know, an additional level to work towards, always have me stretching for something? Also, a big question for me, why can't I see my point score racking up on the interface as I'm racing around one of these maps? I have no idea why they do this. There's absolutely no reason why you should have to wait till the end of a game to see how you did. There's nothing more intense than edging closer and closer to your highest score, seeing that ticker go up just to miss by the fewest of points. That builds on the intensity, but here, the intensity never changed because I couldn't tell you how I was doing. That's a huge miss. Overall, the gameplay absolutely works. It does deliver on the concept, and it's a good idea. Obviously, it's unsurprisingly shallow, but I know I could have fun with the concept. Sadly though, it's giving players very little to return to right now, and it doesn't capture that addictive, just one more go Snake meets Crazy Taxi formula it should have been. Now I will add, if this had the online multiplayer like you'd find on the PC build, I'd be having, I'm sure, a very different reaction. Graphically speaking, we do get a mixed bag. First off, I love the maps. There's varying styles here, like Paris or Seattle, which are going for an air of realism. Then there's a cel-shaded style of a little town suburb, to floating in outer space on a farm, or being toy-sized in a dorm room. It's a nice change of pace to see such carefree experimentation. These then, they're topped off with some really nice colour palettes that just pop off the screen. Buses, I will say as well, they also look great, with skins being about as varied as they can be, with the standard everyday boring to the neon party bus to a dragon-like entity. It's clear they didn't take themselves too seriously given the concept, and I really like that. Then the passengers as well, given their ragdoll physics, they make for some great animations as they literally fly into the bus and fly out when you crash, ending a run. It's dumb, it's cartoony, it's for sure glitchy, but it made me laugh, and sometimes in the right setting that's okay. Like for me it was here. It suits the theme, there's no doubt about it. Sadly though, it's not all perfect. The real issue, it does suffer from quite a bit of popping. It was never really game breaking for me, but it's definitely worse on the Switch when you compare it to its PC, PS4 and Xbox variations. It does seem a little bit worse as well in handheld mode on some of the maps, some of the bigger or more demanding maps, like take Seattle for example, where it's raining. So audio wise, we might have the weirdest soundtrack I've pretty much heard. Going in anticipating high energy frantic, what I got was either somewhat poppy but relatively slow paced, or borderline relaxation music. It does not suit the action in any way, and my closest comparison would be like budget elevator music, and that's me being mean to elevators honestly. Overall, there's the occasional okay musical moment, but it's very, very rare. Sound effects then are low hum for the bus, which doesn't change on speed, the occasional scream of a passenger, and a low quality boost sound for those jumps. You do hear the occasional coin dropping sound as well when you pick up these passengers, but this didn't always play on every interaction. I think it was kind of bugging out on me. I would have expected, big bold sounds for picking up and dropping off, to say, that I achieved something, I did it. I can easily say this, the audio with this one, severely lacking. So overall, Snakeybus is an example of a developer experimenting with an idea which at its core is a great one. Who wouldn't want to play this Snake Crazy Taxi hybrid? Sadly though, they just don't deliver, missing in so many areas that seem so basic. Maps are great, the visual design I really do like, and the controls super responsive. They worked exactly how I would have expected them to, but with the lack of an in-game score counter, unlocks that will be finished in 40 minutes, and some struggles with popping, I just see no reason for me to return. But also, it makes me question the price point, coming in at $11.99, £10.79 or €11.99. It seems steep when I look at what's here for the replayability. The sad thing about this is though, a lot could be tweaked very easily to make it 10 times more addictive. Like multiple ways to get these unlocks, not just 18,000 points. And then the big one, How about showing me that score on screen as I play and building upon the intensity? Today I'm awarding Snakeybus though a below average 4 out of 10. With such well chosen influences, it just couldn't match what it oh so wants to be. This one I'm saying it's for those out there who know they can get addicted to this, even forgive its problems, or simply compete with friends on the leaderboard. If it had multiplayer in this, as I said before, this I'm sure will be a very different score, and if that does get added, we will make sure to revisit it and give you an update on this review. Thanks for watching, hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, join our growing family here at SwitchCorner, and I'll see you all on the next video.